What was the second part of your question?
Oh, I was just saying about like with the history and then the natural game, because yeah, that became a thing, and it was like I don't know, when you go back, like for me, going back, I was like, okay, it's kind of a joke, but I don't know. I was curious your opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so the transgression that at least I saw from my perspective, because I started before like there was mainstream internet. I was already doing game, like literally. I mean, if I really go way back to my like junior, senior in high school, when I was sneaking off to these clubs, and then in college, and into the '90s, and I developed like a very natural form of game. So I was technically a natural, right? I could walk up, start conversations with women. I could get them attracted really fast. Get their phone numbers. And I was able to like go pretty far with a lot of them, but I couldn't really hang on to them. I was looking for more of like a relationship back then. I mean, I found a couple, and even those I couldn't hang on to just because there were fundamentals missing in my game. But like most naturals, I mean, I had great opening game. Have no problem walking up to girls. I mean, these days, I don't know if they call them that these days, but we would also call these guys players, right? They would just have like really great opening game, but they couldn't really sustain that. And then around the 2000s, that's when you saw this community start to form. And then there became more of a structure. And then Mystery came along. All of a sudden, he was posting all of his stuff. And then he really formulated a structure with like canned game, a lot of canned material. Just say this to her. And then there was like A1, A2, A3, and then you transgress to C1, C2, C3. And there was like this formula that he created, which a lot of guys couldn't follow. I mean, I do see the method to his madness. And I could see it working for a certain type of personality. But I really want to say that this is where the hatred for the PUA, for the pickup community started, because they started to attribute everything with mystery and this canned style of game. And that was something that I never really ever taught. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, I could respect what he was doing, and I took elements from it. I did that, but I was like, for the most part, this won't work for me or how I teach guys. It just doesn't work for me. But him and Neil Strauss, I mean, these guys are, I mean, they're geniuses when it comes to canned game, but most guys aren't. But I want to say this is where I noticed the hatred growing, and it was mostly directed toward that type of game and mystery. And so whenever I get hate, they'd attribute me to that. Like, oh, you're just teaching guys how to manipulate women and how to say this and how to approach robots. And it's like, dude, I've never taught that way. And so around 2010, there was a little bit more of a turn back to natural game, but it was more what I call like pickup 2.0, where we got back to natural game, but now we have some structure involved. And, RSD came along at that time. They were pretty big back then, and they put some more structure to it. And I've always had my own structure to it as well. So now we're kind of in a phase where it's like natural plus structure.